If your adult child needs a safe space to avoid offensive words, you failed as a fucking parent. If anything in my seminar offends you, blame your parents for raising a pussy.
Okay guys, welcome back. Got some activity happening behind me, but it's alright. I'll try to talk over the stuff going on. Don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. I have saved people hundreds of thousands of dollars working on their bikes and motorcycles and scooters and everything over the years. And the only thing I ask in return for the free information that I provide is that you guys at least hit the like button and subscribe and drop a comment. It helps all these videos grow. It helps me. I don't have to be like, oh, you should buy my merch, or oh, you should do this, because my channel will make income based on the videos and views. So I can provide that free information for everybody if they just play ball with me. So let's get started. We're going to clean the entire fuel injection system on this 2015 Bully 800. This will go for the M50s, the C50Ts. They're pretty much all gonna have the C50, the C50T, like they're all gonna basically be the same principle if they're fuel injected. So I've already torn this down. I'm sure you guys can figure out how to get all the way down to your tank. So that's the first thing we're gonna do, is remove the tank. I actually just had it on here because I had it running the other day, and so I have to get up underneath here. I'm trying to provide you with the best possible view that I can from my GoPro right now, so I apologize if it's not quite what you're expecting, but I want you to be able to see what I'm doing with my hands when I'm working on the fuel system, and with a tripod it makes it a lot more difficult. So let's get started here. I have to remove the fuel pump wire and the fuel hose from the fuel injection rail, and then we're going to remove the tank because I've already got everything loose because I've already had all this off. So give me one sec here. Pop this line off here. This is really hard to do. There we go. There's that one. And now I gotta disconnect the fuel line. This is a whole nother process in itself, getting the fuel line off of here. Okay guys, welcome back. So first thing we're gonna do here, I think I forgot to grab my Allen wrenches. I gotta grab an Allen wrench, take this off here. I did put the zip tie on here, if you guys remember, to lock this in place so this couldn't move. And you can see that zip tie right there because somebody broke that bolt off. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to cut that zip tie now to get this off. But we can always put a new one back on there when we're done. So let's go ahead and snip that guy like so. There we go. Now that can unfortunately move, which was the whole problem. The gas leak happened in the first place. And what we're gonna do is grab this breather hose. We're gonna pop this guy off here. We're gonna take that breather hose and tuck it back underneath there. That way it's out of the way. This is our fuel injector rail for the front. That's the fuel injector rail that goes to the back. So let me grab my Allen here. My Allens. Tilt my head back so you guys can see. And there we go. Grab my Allens. Come over here and see what size this is. I think it's like a 3 maybe. It's probably a 3. See if I'm right about that. Yep, definitely a 3. We're gonna back this off enough that we can just pop it off there. Maybe. There we go. And I'm not taking off more than I have to. I've done this job before without complete teardown of everything. I'll show you how I did it too. So get this nice and loose. There we go. I'll drop my Allens over here. And let's come back to this side. Tilt this way. And what I'm gonna do is take this one off, because this one ends up getting in the way with the direction that we want to pull this air hose. So we're going to end up putting that back on here in a bit. But right now we're just going to disconnect it. And this one here should just pop off there now. There we go. And we're going to take these wonderful bungees I got here. We're going to put them around here like so. So if you guys are paying attention, we're going to come here. We're gonna wrap this guy up. I'm gonna hook this right around there like so. There we go. And come on, you. Get over there. And this one's a little different than the other one. Let's see if we can get this guy around there. There we go. And now all I have to do is move the handlebars that way, and it pulls it out of the way without completely disconnecting everything. So now I can work on this and get this entire section apart without having to worry about that. I have a screw back here, if you guys can see that, and I have a screw right here, a screw right here, and that one's already broken off, so not a big deal. So let's go ahead and crack these off of here. If you guys can see what I'm doing. Alright, I'm going to set these right here so I can't lose them. Now, I don't know if these have been loosened yet before, but I'm going to take a crack at them. Yep, these are definitely loose too. Somebody was just in here recently. And take that guy off, put it over there. I should be able to sneak this one on there now too. There we go. And this will allow me to pull the fuel injection rail apart on both sides. Okay, so we know we only have 3 bolts. Now here's the thing, guys, okay? Here's the thing with this, is that unfortunately this has 2 sections to it. So there's a basically a splitter in between here with 2 O-rings on each end. And these are very easy to damage. So my suggestion to you before you do anything is get an O-ring kit that is petroleum based. Okay, that way you know that it can handle gas and you're putting the correct O-rings on here. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and disconnect this fuel injector wire right here, put a little push down tab. This might be kind of a struggle. There we go. That's the first fuel injector tab. And now we're going to pop off this one back here. If I can get it. This might be a bit more complicated. There we go. So that one's now disconnected. All right. I'm going to pull this away now, and this should pop. So the lower fuel injector is down there. You can see that. This all should pop out as one section when I start pulling on this. So this is going to unseat the fuel injector and hopefully disconnect this tube at the same time. So I'm going to put a couple fingers underneath it. We're going to give a pull up and back. And we're just gonna work it back and forth till it pops out of there. There we go. Okay? Make sure to be careful because there's a rubber grommet around this fuel injector. So we got this one out. So for now, I'm just gonna set that aside. All right? And now we gotta get this tube out of here. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, this might take some work. So I've already done this. I've already had this apart. So as you can see, I've already put new O-rings on here. So these are good. These are fresh. These are good O-rings. All right. So I'm going to set that right here in the same direction that it goes in. So I know exactly which direction it goes in. And now we're going to grab the rear fuel injection rail and we're going to pull that out. And then we're going to clean these injectors and I'm going to show you how to do that. Now it doesn't look like the rear rail has been pulled out yet. So this might take a little bit of work. Be very, very careful. If you're prying on things, be careful. There we go. All right, it is very easy to snap these plastic things off. So, all right, that O-ring is in good shape. And there you go. So that fuel injector and that fuel injector, I've pulled the entire fuel rail out now. Tube that goes in between. Okay, and now what we're gonna do is clean each individual injector, right, before we go any further here. So I'm also going to clean this throttle body. I'm going to give this throttle body a spray because it looks like it's a little on the dirty side. So, but let's see what's inside these fuel injectors. So the way you get these fuel injectors out of here, and then I'm going to show you how to clean them. Okay, but the way you get these fuel injectors out of here, let me move this down here, is you grab them by the back and you just pull down lightly while twisting back and forth and it'll start to pull away. Okay, so I'm just going to lightly keep putting pressure on this and pulling down until this pops out of there. It may take some work. These O-rings like to swell up and they're very easy to break, the O-rings too. So luckily that one stayed in good shape. So that O-ring is reusable. All right, so I'm gonna put this the same way that this should go. Brush gas. So that installs that way. We know that for a fact. All right. And let's have a look inside here. Oh yeah, it's gross. It's gross inside there. Look at that. There's a bunch of little particles and stuff inside here clogging this up. Okay, well, we're gonna definitely have to clean this injector. So let's do the front one first so that we can reinstall this without... Okay, listen here, bro. Last time. Thank you. All right, so let's clean this injector. So I have a fuel injector cleaner system, and what we're gonna do is see if this one sprays. I have it connected to the battery on raw side, which is red, and then I have ground out point right here. As you can see, I have my carb cleaner, and we're gonna see if this fuel injector actually sprays still, because I tested the one on the front that didn't work, and that one was closed shut, but I finally got it to free up, which means there was a bunch of rust inside that one. It was barely producing fuel. This is the one that's been running, but hasn't been supplying a lot of fuel, so I'm gonna guess this one's in the same shape. So if you have one of these neat little systems here, you can actually clean your own fuel injectors, because after looking at the eBay one, I decided not good. So I'm gonna lightly put my legs around this can so I can put a little pressure on it, and then I'm gonna tap the negative side on here, tap, 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 and see if we get a lot of spray. Let's see if we can clean these injectors out with a lot of pressure. Oops. Okay, so this one's definitely clogged up still. Let's see if I can get a better hold on this one. There we go. Okay, so that fuel injector finally cleared itself, which means both these fuel injectors are working, because when I give them power, they power up. So I have just cleaned these fuel injectors now. Gonna let this sit for a minute so the gaskets don't swell any further. That gasket's pretty swelled up at the moment. If I have to, I'll change it. But I'm just going to, because it looks like it's got a little rip in it. I'm one of those people that has an entire gasket kit available to them at all times. So O-rings, because I do enough of work on these things that you have to have this stuff available. So, all right, so I know this injector is putting out a fair amount of fuel now, because I've seen the spray pattern. So I know this one is working how it should. So we're going to reinsert this back into there, like so. There we go. And now we can plop this one, make sure that rubber is seated real good. We can plop this one back into here. If I can get that down in there. There we go. Get back in your hole, bro. There we go. Got it. Got it. Got it that time. I figured we'd get there in the end. Cool. All right. So let's put this one back together here. Make sure I'm not stepping on anything I shouldn't be. We'll get that hole started a little bit right there. And this one I can tell is going to be a lot harder to get back in there. But let's see if we can do it. Just my fingers. A little bit of pressure. There it is. Got him. So we'll put this down nice and tight, like so. Crank this one down so it seats that fuel injector like so. Beautiful. And then we'll put that fuel injector plug back on there like so. There we go. Okay. And now, while I've got this off, We can push this one back in there. If you guys remember, it goes that way. So I'm gonna push this one back in there while we still can. There it is. Push until you get a big click. Might take a minute. This can get very frustrating because you can really hurt your thumb doing this. So I will grab something like this, put my hand on the back and give a push. Yeah. Okay, so it's gonna play a little bit with me. When this happens, what I do is I take a little bit of oil and I rub it around the O-ring. There we go. Like so. Because it's petroleum based, it doesn't affect it, but it will definitely help it slide in. So there we go. Put a little bit around the tip. No, it won't hurt anything. You guys will be just fine. We'll just kind of dab it so it's not so much on there, like that. Beautiful. And then we'll give a little push. And normally these slide in pretty easy after you put a little oil on them. There it is. In it goes. Okay. Cool. All right, so that one's good. So now we got to do the fuel injector on this one here. A lot of extra fuel chilling in that line. There we go. Let's pull this injector out of here. Same thing as the other one. Twisty, twisty, twist. It'll pop off there. There we go. Okay, set that down over there. I'll take my other carb spray. Give this a little blast in that opening so we can clean it out. There we go. Now, I'll reattach all this wonderfulness. Get all this back on there again. There we go. There it is. Oh, the problem is now I'm out of cleaner. I'm out of cleaner now. Boy, this is just one screw up after another. I got a little bit left in this one. Should be enough to do the job. I started this on almost 2 completely empty bottles. So let's do this now. Come on. Come on. There we go. There it is. And out of fluid again. Yep. 2 completely empty bottles now. Luckily I had enough to get spray patterns out of both of them. So I'll take it. I'll take it. That works for me. So we're out of carb cleaner. No. It's alright. So unfortunately you need 5 volts or higher. I tried to do it with 4.2 volts. Didn't work out too well. Alright, let's get this guy off of there. Beautiful, beautiful. Very nice. Let that breathe for a sec before we pop it back in there. Okay, let's push that back in there slowly. Let that reseat. Pull it out for a sec, reseat it, pull it out, reseat it, just to make sure. There we go. Okay, we are tight, toy like a tiger. And of course, I need to grab some more oil. I'm also going to remove this gas line real quick, pop that up there, and then we'll pop it on when we're done. Let's get some oil, because once again, this is going to be very hard to do. Very hard to get this in there. So, oil is your best friend. Rub a little bit inside the hole, like so. That'll help with seating it. Put some around here. That'll help with the installation of it. There we go. And remember, guys, remember, screwdriver is your friend. Screwdriver is your friend. All right, insert the fuel injector first down there, and then slowly start to line this up. This can be a real pain in the ass process. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you it's not. This sometimes is a lot of frustration and a lot of work to get these two to coexist with each other correctly. So now is when the fun begins. That's a big O-ring to get on there. Everything has to be completely lined up. And here we go. Start the pushing. Grr. So much fun making these things go together. Oh, there we go. On, bro. Get on there. There. Got it. That's a lot of work. But it's on there. See what I mean? It's a pain in the ass. Nobody likes to do that job. And now let's hopefully we didn't rip any O-rings, because that would really suck if we ripped an O-ring. But that is back on there. Before I forget, we will slap the fuel injector. I gotta straighten it out just a little bit. There we go. Slap the fuel injector plug back on there. And then we gotta put a zip tie around this so this holds nice and tight. So let me go grab a zip tie here. I want a black one. I want a black one. Where's my other zip ties? Oh, there they are. There they are. There we go. One of these guys. Oops. Oops. Forgot my pliers. That'll work. Whatever. That'll work. What I'm gonna do, because like I said, they broke this bolt off. What I'm gonna do is slide this underneath here and up and around this line like so, so that I can tighten this down and pull this into place by hand like that, and then really wrench on this guy so it doesn't go anywhere. Like that. There we go. That holds that nice and tight, and that can't move. Right. So, what did I just do with those pliers? Did you guys see what I did with the pliers? There they are. There we go. Chop that off. Set all that back down there. And we'll lower this back down. Take the slack off of it like that. Let that go for now. Do that one up there with that one. Get those out of the way. And reseat this guy here. Replug that in there. Take this over here. Plug this in. These can be a little frustrating to get back on. There we go. Make sure that's all the way down. Beautiful. Oops, suppose I should undo that real quick and do that air hose up. Suppose we should do the air hose up. What did I say that was? A 3? Pretty sure it was a 3. 3! Hopefully this doesn't leak. I'd hate to... every time I put these back together, there ends up being... putting it back together ends up ripping an O-ring, and then you got to replace something, and it's just, it gets kind of ridiculous. So hopefully we don't have to do that. Hopefully this thing just fires right up. I'll be able to throw the tank back on there, and we'll turn the engine over, and I'll run like a top. That would just be amazing. I would just love that. That would be just awesome if that was the case. I haven't had the best of luck lately, so... we'll see. We'll see what it does. All that's reconnected. Good. Goody good. Let's pop our fuel line back on there. This is the one that goes on the top. Uh-oh. Did Dan get confused? Or should it go that way? I think it goes this way. Yeah, that's for the... I think... oh gosh. Oh, maybe not. I think it goes this way. Yeah, we'll find out in a minute, right? Let's get this guy back on there. No, doesn't like that. Let's try it this way. No, that's the one it wanted right there. However, I feel like that's not correct. I could be wrong, but I feel like that's not correct. Oh well, we'll find out in a sec when I try to install the tank, right? Right. So let's get all this off here. Oh boy. We. Boy. I hear you, phone. I hear you. Drop that right there. Oh, God. This is so much fun, let me tell you. Ah, shit. I guess I had it right. That was 100% the correct way to install that gas line. If I could just see what I'm doing, that would be great, too. There we go. There's one. And there's number 2. Okay. Oh! Time to prime it, see if we got any leaks. I hope we don't. That would really suck. Oh, yeah, shit. Gotta pick up the tank. Get this up here. Like so. Alright, let's see if we get any leaks here. I don't see any fresh fuel leaking down. That's a huge plus. I'm gonna prime it one more time here. Sounds pretty good.